Hi, I'm Scrapping Amy with My Mommy Scrapping, where I am planning for happy memories. Today I have a layout share for you for the month of May in 2021. Let's just say it was a prolific month. Let's get started. So the month of May was a prolific one. It was a combination of a few different things that had me getting 27 layouts done. I don't think I've done that many for quite a while. Some of the factors were classes I'm taking. I'm doing Chamelle's Half and Half class, which this layout here is actually from it. I'm also doing the Scrapbook Generation class with Allison Davis called Sketches for 6x6 paper pads. So you'll see some of those scattered in. And really, I had gotten my getting more organized with my Disney photos, and just finding my Scrappy Mojo again. All of that came together, and I got this huge stack done. I am so excited. First up is, as I said, this one from Half and Half, which is a very good day. These are Maggie Holmes. This is actually the same sheet of paper, but it's A side and B side, or A side and B side. I don't know which is which. This one is using Piccadilly by Basic Gray, and it is from the 6x6 class. I went a little circle crazy. I even have some Distress Oxides in the background. And I added in vintage drops from my Nuvo Drop collection, which are not ones I use very often, but they work so well with the grunginess of Basic Gray. Another Basic Gray layout from Lollipop Shop, and incorporating some Disney, Adventure, and Epcot. I have not used this collection. This is the first time I've used it, and I just love how everything came together. More Basic Gray, Olivia. This was another live one. Oh, I need to go back and journal. This is actually me as a little baby. My mom was on the live chat and told me that it should have been taken. The pictures are probably in 1979. So I'm at my grandparents' lodge, and I recognized the gate, and there were strawberry fields. This one makes me so happy to look at because it really reminds me of my grandparents and how much love that they had. Now we're getting into some friend layouts, and this is Fran on her 28th birthday. So we decided those were the candles we had on the cake, and if it's on the cake, it has to be true, right? I used the Photoplay Tula birthday collection. And then this is a companion page of my daughter eating some of Fran's cake. And she was just like, I'm going to eat this whole bite. And she managed to stick the whole thing in her mouth. It was just cute. And I told her she's not a big fan of the gnomes. And she's mostly not a fan of the gnomes because I like them so much. But I had to incorporate this gnome paper. I thought it was so cute. Another Half and Half layout. This one is using Starshine, and I actually used some yellow that I had not used before. Chamelle's layout for this class used this paper but with the red version, and so it's two separate 6x12 pieces that I have just matted or placed on some old cardstock. So it's been a great way to use up some of that cardstock that I'm not using at all. And kind of lengthen how much I can get out of some of these older collections that I don't have access to anymore. Although I have a feeling that I will be printing this out quite often. I love that yellow honeycomb. And here's Little Miss Sleeping Beauty, another 6x6. This was with the April kit from Chamelle's Best of Both Worlds, and another one that I cut in half and then mounted to some paper. If you'll notice, I went ahead on this one. I trimmed the cardstock down because I wanted to make sure none of it was showing. It is a very bright color, and every time I look at it, I think of macaroni and cheese. But this is my sweet little niece, Zora, when she was only 4 days old. I almost said 2 days. But she was 4 days old. Here she's a brand new little baby. Another layout from Chamelle's Best of Both Worlds. Excuse me, do you need assistance? This would be me in the bathroom, and if you do not lock the door, my dog will open the door up and he will poke his head in, wanting to know if you need any help. And I gotta say, I'm always there when he goes to the bathroom, so he's probably always going, hey, mom's going, I need to be there too. Supporting each other. This was from the 6x6 layout class. The Only full-size paper is the background. Everything else is a 6x6, including the purple, which I simply cut and then extended, so it actually looks like a bigger sheet than it really is. And this is using LE Studio Noteworthy Collection, and oh my gosh, I loved including all the little bits of confetti, and that was fun. This was using a Hip Kit. I think this was the March one, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe April. I don't know, I can't remember anymore. But more Disney, my dream come true. Being at Disney on my birthday was like the best thing. Another Disney layout. Oh my gosh, this I used a sketch. Oh, it must have been from International Scrapbooking Day. That's what it was. And the sketch had these triangles, so it ended up, this part looked like a giant tag, and I was like, no, cannot. So instead, I went ahead and, with this photo being of the water wheel at Port Orleans Riverside, I decided to take some of the wood grain paper and cut it like planks, so it actually looks like it's the architecture like what you'd see with a building or a barn. And this photo is one of my favorites. I kept forgetting to get a picture of this part of the resort that we stayed at, and I finally remembered. It's our last day, and I'm like, take some pictures of me. And I told her, I'm like, just be silly. And this is what she did. And I was like, that's perfect. That is my daughter right there, being as silly as her mama. Makes me happy. This is a 2-page layout. Actually, it's not officially a 2-page layout. It's, here we go. It's actually a companion page layout. Oh, let me scoot it over. This was using the February Hip Kit, and this page here was for Chamelle's Half and Half class, and then I made this companion page. So technically it's 2 layouts. I can count it as 1, and it was just a lot of fun. This was the first time we saw Frozone at Disney in 2018. My husband, that was the character he wanted to see, was Frozone. And while we were waiting in line to see Chip and Dale, he went to the bathroom, and that's when this parade started. So he missed seeing Frozone. So this was actually a video recording, and this was a screenshot from it, which is why you've got the time stamp at the top and then the grid. And he could not believe that he was gone for 10 minutes, and that's the time that Frozone came out. So we're going to, I'm going to be documenting the second time that I saw Frozone, and again, he wasn't with me, and finally my husband did end up seeing him. This was another National Scrapbooking Day, and I want to say it was a sketch from Hip Kit. I know this is a Hip Kit layout, but I don't think it was a half and half layout, even though that's what I did. I tend to do this when I have a sheet of paper I want to use, and I only have one of them across a 2-page. I will cut it in half and then kind of mirror it. So the paper itself really goes like this as a complete 12 by 12 sheet. But by cutting it in half, I can extend it over. And with the gradient, I wanted it to be heavier in the middle and lighter on the outside. But this is from the Festival of Fantasy Parade at Disney. Oh, and then look at these guys. These are my nephews and my oldest one and his brother. I decided to incorporate some hidden journaling here. I wanted to put in just some basics, but the journaling I wrote specifically about my nephews, I wanted to actually hide. I mean, it's very personal, and I love them so much. This was an International Scrapbooking Day one, and I think this was also Hip Kit Club. I know the paper is Hip Kit, and the embellishments and all that. And here's the Chip and Dale. This is who we were waiting in line to see when my husband went off to the bathroom. And more Hip Kit. There's a lot of Hip Kit. I was really inspired with their April or May kit. No, not May. I mean, I was inspired with May, but their March or April kit, which had all these beautiful purples. And I ended up ordering a lot of extra stuff from that one because I liked it so much. It was one of their, where everything was Hip Kit brand, which was cool. This is from Chamelle's Half and Half class, and it involved some ink and a lot of stamping in there. And oh my gosh, I had so much fun. I did not think I would like it as much as I did, but wow. When it finally all came together, adding in the little splatters and everything, it was just like, oh, that's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. I used Bella Boulevard's Cooper collection for the most part here. Here is another 6x6. It's actually using the same sketch that was the second layout right there, except this time I've got photos all over. This was using an Amy Tan collection, and I incorporated doing some of these cutout circles, and then I did some pen stitching as well as the little messy threads. And this was from Festival Fantasy Parade. As I go through, I'm deciding on the Festival Fantasy stuff. I don't think I'm going to put a title with all of them, and I know there's actually one already. I don't know if it's in here or for my June layouts, but it's like 37 photos I took all of the Festival Fantasy Parade, so there's only so many titles I can come up with. This one was a fun layout to do. This was also with my April Best of Both Worlds, and I had put in these white butterflies, and it never occurred to me to color them with alcohol ink. So I pulled out my Copics. I've got a ton of colors, and actually was able to come up with some very nice custom colored butterflies, and I think I used up finally the last of at least one side of the package. Those butterflies were from Studio Calico from way long ago. Here's another where it is a companion page. This is again Chamel, and they are considered two separate layouts for me. But again, I took that piece of paper that I wanted on both and cut it in half. And this used the same stencil and same ink colors on both of these. I emailed or text messaged my sister about these, and it was, this actually goes like this, if I want to be completely honest with you here. This is my sweet nephew practicing for his little baby sister. And I love that he was so excited to finally get a sister. And he has his little baby doll, and he would feed her and talk to her, and he's reading to her there, and he would have her with him when he's playing with his toys, and it was so sweet. And then he finally got to hold her, and so I had texted my sister to send me some journaling, and so I actually typed it up and printed it on vellum. So it's her words about these two. Oh, it just makes me so happy. This is my other sweet little niece. This is Cece. She is not technically like blood niece, but she's gonna be calling me Mimi like all of Rachel's kids do, because her parents are some of my best friends, and just went to town. This is an Echo Park collection. I believe I did this one live, if I recall correctly, but it was just fun to get all the little bits. I was apparently had the goal of using up this particular package of enamel dots. That is one goal I have for the year of 2021, and that's to use up my enamel dots. I love my Nuvo Drop so much. That's what I want, but I've spent money on these things, so I'm trying to use them. Here's a half and a half class. This was an interesting one. The layout that Chamel had a cut file, and I didn't have any large enough cut file that I wanted to use. And I was also struggling because I wanted to do the photo strips like she had them, but I was trying to find pictures that I had enough to do 8 photos on. And when I realized, oh, well, Tucker Boy just turned 4, and so I did all of the pictures of him, very unhappily, I might add, with his hat on. And then one of the outdoor pictures, my husband takes him to the same spot in the park every year to do a photo. And so these are also from this same photo shoot, and a picture of his birthday cake. There is an amazing dog bakery that that will make cakes and cookies and all of that. So it's a lot of fun. He really enjoyed that cake, I will say that. And this was actually a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be to back this cut file. And this was a cut file that I'd had for forever, and it was actually a very small cut file. So I used the entire thing, and by cutting it up, I was able to kind of space it out to take up that entire 12x6 section. And then my last layouts for the month of May is a two-space, I can talk. It's a 2-page layout, a true 2-page layout of that same hotel that I had a picture of my daughter that was Just Be Silly. I made sure that I got photos of the exterior as well as the interior. I love their lobby. It's like a big pedal boat with the rudders there. And then this is the resort gift shop, which we spend a ton of time and money there, let me say. But we love this hotel. We're going to stay at a different one the next time we go to Disney in 2022. And we're excited about that. But Port Orleans Riverside has always been a big favorite of ours. So I'm using a lot of the Echo Park Disney lines. It's a whole mix. I do have some things from Photoplay in there as well. And I like my little bows. I had made these with scraps a long time ago and added the little gemstones to them. And I was like, oh, they're perfect. They go really well with this page. So I've got them in 3 of my main embellishment clusters. So thank you so much for joining me. Let me know, which layout did you like the best? Honestly, I can't pick. I've got like so many baby things. I'm like baby crazy right now. Oh, I think these are some of my favorite photos because it just shows what a sweet, caring little boy Scott is. I just love that. Oh, and this one's from way back during the pandemic when it first started. Took those over a year ago. I mean, I love my Disney. I love my Tucker Boy. Oh, just so many happy memories. And being able to flip through the layouts and also flip through the scrapbooks. It makes me so happy. Oh, I really like this. I love the story behind that one. I didn't think I would like this layout as much as I do. I think this was the April, and I think this was the March. And that was a kit I was kind of struggling with using a little bit, but seeing it all here like this is just like, oh, I love it. I love it. My favorite colors, tons of purple. I'm seeing more purples come out during or for recent collections. This one's very busy. It was the last kit or last layout I did with my kit. So this is my last sheet of 12 by 12 paper. And it's very busy. It's more busy than I'm used to. But some of these, you're so cool, I'm not even mad. Work less, play more. Don't grow up, it's a trap. Every day I'm hustling. I mean, it just all seemed to work so well with my Tucker Boy. Look at my little girl there. She's so tiny. I cannot wait to see her for the first time and hold her. And this was Elizabeth's 11th birthday trip to Universal. I mean, come on, my daughter's shoving cake in her face. And Fran is getting to blow out her candles on her 20th birthday. So, I mean, I love these two. Oh, and there's this one. Okay, so I think the pictures of Scotty with Zozo and this one here are my favorites. I don't have very many pictures of myself scrapbooked when I was a little girl. So that, I think, is why I like that one so much. Oh, and this one, I like the story behind this one because we were at Epcot and we saw the red telephone booth, and her sister. She doesn't have any sisters. Her auntie, her Aunt Kay, lives in England, so we was like, go in there and pose for a photo. Which, let me tell you, she was already giving me attitude about that at 9. I cannot imagine if I would try to make her do that all the way now as she's 12 going on 13. So there you go. If you enjoyed this, I would love if you would subscribe to my channel and hit the like button. Leave a comment down below with your favorite layout. And if you hit the bell, then you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video or go live, which is usually once a week here on YouTube. And I also go live on my Facebook group, link down below, Sundays at 3 p.m. Eastern. So I hope you guys all have a lovely day, and I'll see you later. Bye.